We'll just start with a little bit of turning. Just starting one side. Rolling the jaw. In this case, just really focusing on the grip. So the back two fingers, you're really going to squeeze them to rotate it. So the movement to rotate is going to come from this squeezing of the fingers. So it kind of pulls through the grip. And changing sides. And then just alternating each side. Again, just really focusing on this with the fingers and the grip. And then just one hand again, coming out. And on the other side. And then alternating it. Like to one hand, just rolling figure eight. The other side. And alternating each side. Going here, just a bit wider, thumbs pointing together. Just going to roll over this way. Roll to the kind of into the armpit with this hand, and then just roll it, coil it out. Really allowing the hips to coil through. Roll through this way. Okay, good. It's going to be in this position. I just wanted to practice rolling the jaw through the hands. Just going to arc it through this way. And just play with, you can keep it kind of horizontal, keep the jaw horizontal. You can just feed it through the hands this way. Here's just to really feel it sliding through the hand all the way. Get it nice and loose. No real posture. Just change sides each time. So feeding it through the hand. Still allow the jaw to smoothly roll through the hand. And a few each side and pull it through. And just do one each side, so just roll it through, change, roll it through, change. You get the jaw sliding through the hand. Nice. Okay, you're going to go now into a hammy. So this left side forward, we're going to really look at the ski today. So I had a few questions about the ski motion. You use the same motion, but really involving the body in it. So just come into a really clear kamae with the ski. And then without moving the feet, just rock through the movement. Right, so again, just feeding through. And really, you're slightly going beyond it. So don't come to the position where you would finish, go slightly beyond it. And the key in this, what this exercise is really teaching, is feeding the hands through the jaw this way. So just rock the body through and just find this motion with the arm. So really easy. No sense of focusing or thrusting, just feeding through the body. Don't move the feet, just sink the weight down. Keep the weight sunk and keep the arms flexible. Just feed it through. And the front hand's very loose. Just allow the jaw to roll through. Just a few each side. So left side. Fix the weight down and roll through the body. Okay, so there's lots of ways to do this exercise. Just watch, I'll show a few, there's a few ways you can go with this. One thing is the front hand's too tight, this happens. What I don't want to do is this, so it's not like this, but really allow the front hand to be, the front hand's really soft and it pulls through the jaw. This way. If the front hand's tight at any time during this exercise, it'll get pulled with the motion. So I don't want this hand to be tight at all on the jaw. So there's no point in the grip where there's friction between the grip and the jaw. It just slides through all the time. If there's any kind of friction on the grip, it'll be pulled by the jaw, by the movement. And I don't want the hand to be pulled. I want it to be free and open. So really allow this hand to be free. So it's moving, but it's not moving because it's tight on the jaw and it's being pulled. So really let the jaw slide through. I don't want to bring the hand, the other way to do it, I don't know if I can do it, is to do something like that and then pull it out. Oh, this is really good. If you're doing a bit like this, so there's something strange going on with the hands, just allow the arm to arc through and pull. So this arm's always in extension this way. This way. So just feed it through. Feed it through. Feed it through. Okay, give it a try. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, good.
Michael?
Yeah.
in this backhand,
Yeah.
is there almost a rotation?
No. Yeah,
No.
good question. Yeah, sometimes and also some styles teach this as like a rotating movement this way. So there's a way of like rotating the wrist here. In this case, you really the wrist open and it just rolls through this way. What I want to do when we eventually come to the thrust is without rotating it this way. And I'm really just looking to form a line through the arm this way. And if I rotate it, I basically do this kind of movement. There is a way of making a thrust by doing a rotation, but it basically means doing this way to the arm. And this is really a different kind of style of thrusting, which we don't really use. So there is a way to rotate and find the thrusting position, but it's really a different kind of thrust. And the thrust we use is more like this. So this wrist doesn't really rotate through the motion.
Thank you.
Especially in this exercise. I have the feeling like the wrist is quite loose, so it's actually in this kind of position. So it's like this. So in this case, to really keep, it's actually a good point that all the joints are actually still free all the way, and especially the back. You just really slide it through. This is just really trying to find the arc of the movement. Simple exercise, but okay, good. Okay, we'll stay with this a little bit. There's a few points. Really try and ground the body down. Watch this as it swings through. There's a tendency for the body to raise up with it. This way. But in this case, really just keep the body down. So the feeling's down and just keep it down. Keep the body down. So what you're doing with the hips is just rocking this way, but it's not the body rocking and raising this way. So keep the body sunk down this way. This way. This way. So just keep really heavy body down. Heavy body down. So just keep changing sides. Good. Nice. Yeah, good. Okay, good. Very nice. Okay. Good. Okay, the next step in this is to start with the footwork, but really stay away from the ski or stay away from an idea of thrusting. So what you're going to do is the same kind of footwork of 1, 2 with the feet, but in this case with the hand, you're going to find the arc and just roll through it this way. So totally kind of abandon the ski. In this case, really to the ground. So have the sense of thrusting in and then just abandon it this way. Yeah. Really, the focus in this case is on the body and sinking down here. So you're going to really initiate the arc of the ski here and then just really abandon it. Just roll through it. So really initiate it and then abandon it. Okay, give it a try. Just the body work. And for this exercise, see if you can really drain the energy down again. So the reason the jaw goes to the ground is to really feel that the body can sink down into the ground. Now watch if I do something like this, and then I drop it down. So it's not really about dropping the jaw, but it's about really draining the body down this way. So in this case, keep the arms very loose. You initiate it and just roll through it this way. So it's not really a feeling of striking and then releasing the jaw, but it's just a feeling of releasing the thrust straight through, straight to the ground. And what I'm trying to really work on is contact to the ground. So it's in position, really initiate it, and then really feel that you thrust into don't thrust into the ground, but thrust the body, the feeling into the ground. So try and get really a sense of the body entering the ground this way. And the hands keep them very, very loose this way. So just get this kind of feeling, you instantly shift the weight into the ground. So initiate the arms, but don't complete the ski. Okay. Yeah, okay, good.
Michael, may I ask you one question?
Of course, go ahead.
So in the ski is is my weight 50% on, so my weight is in the middle of my body, so it is 50% on the
In the feet.
foot before and 50% on the foot behind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, as you deliver the ski, or in terms of this movement as well, you want to really reach a point where you're spreading again. This kind of feeling out. So yeah, in the middle and kind of 50-50 with the weight of the feet. So yeah, as you deliver the weight, this. Of course, you deliver in the front first and then the back supporting, but get the sense that you really ground through the whole body this way, down, and both hips, both knees spread towards the feet, kind of equal this way.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, good.
Michael,
Hello.
do your feet work, please?
Sure. Ah, yeah, good point. You go to the feet this way.
So your front foot,
Yeah,
your front foot twist inwards a bit more once you've actually.
a little bit. Yeah. Also, watch the feet in this case. Watch the. Okay, watch this position. So this is like a really wide hammy this way, here, and then as you enter in, you're going to really press forward here. It's a bit like the hips are square on this way. So really delivering the weight here and this way. This way. What I want to avoid in this case is being in this position, like this, where I'm actually my weight's like in a squat sideways. So I still want to be in a hammy. I still want to be in a hammy with the foot forward this way, working in a triangular way, this way. But I don't want the back foot to wedge out this way. So I don't want to be in this position here, especially with the back foot. I'm basically out of balance. So in this case, the back foot's going to press in and roll in this way. But I'm really side on with the hip, with a feeling of pressing in this way. If that makes any sense. This way.
Okay, so that's the front. What's happening with the back?
The back foot just basically follows in this way, this way. This way, this way. So it's just going to follow
Okay.
this way. But the back foot doesn't rotate out to the back.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Good. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, good. And we just got to placing it now. So you're going to do the same motion. Keep without a feeling of power. Just roll through and place the jaw. The feeling is as if or you can actually do this with like there's a wall in front of you, and you're just contacting it. So you're just touching the wall, placing the jaw. So just have the sense that you're going to roll in and place it this way. And I want to really complete the movement, nice and clear. So no sense of power, roll into the ground, nice and heavy. Just placing it this way. Okay, so just have the sense there's something in front of you and you just contact into it. And then you just contact into it this way. Okay, give it a try. So this is just placing the ski. Keep the movement nice and full. Big clear arc in the back arm. Okay, just place it.
Michael,
Ah.
can you swing your arm back? Hang on a minute. So towards the end of it, if I let go a little bit like that, is that too much of swinging back? So if I take that and it goes like that, it opens up a little bit. Is that my hand down on it?
This backhand. I don't. In this case, don't release the arm to move, or don't release the grip to move it. I basically want the hand loosely, and I want the hand connected to the jaw. So it's not tight on the jaw, but it's connected here, this way, and I want basically the fingers to be in contact with the jaw, this way. So in the case of the jaw, you're always going to have one hand in a full grip with the jaw, and in this case, the front hand's open. So the back hand is connected to the jaw here, rolling through here. So the grip's kind of loosening, but it's not opening. You see that?
Okay.
So there's a kind of, I'll try and show from here. There's a loosen on the grip. I'll do from here. There's a kind of loosening on the grip's never really fixed. It's only really fixed when you make the thrust.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you.
So now that at the point where you place the weapon, then the grip's on. But all the other times the grip is quite soft. Let's see. Okay. So really allow the back arm to arc out. So in this case, it's very open. The joint's really open. So when you do this move, this joint's really opening out to the back, and then swinging through. What you really want to do is keep this arcing work from this movement. So really this kind of move. So that just focus really on the back arm. It's really going to find this arc through the body. The front arm also needs to be loose. So if the front arm's jammed, you'll get this kind of movement where the jaw moves in a linear way. This way. So if the front arm's kind of fixed in place, you'll get this kind of movement. What I want is really an arc through the whole system. This way, which means the front arm's going to arc too. So allow the back arm to arc out and allow the front arm to be loose as well. This way. You got to kind of double arc. One in the back, this way, and one in the front, this way. Yeah? So just try and really coordinate the arm work, arcing through the whole body as you do it. Really allow it to arc through and then just place it. Arc through, place it. Arc through, place it. Give it a try. Okay. Yeah, better. Good. Okay. And then just really focus on the position at the end. You're going to really find full extension here, which basically means this hand basically going to line up with the shoulder. The front arm's extended out, so don't come to this kind of position where where you're going to kind of feed it too close to the hands this way. So be careful of the hand position at the end being too narrow. So in this case, really keep the hands wide, full extension with the front arm and a full complete arc with the back arm. Basically, it's going to line up with the shoulder. If I go beyond the shoulder, then I'm working out of the body. And if I try and find this position, it's almost impossible to keep it this way. I'm basically falling out of the body. If I don't really complete the arc, I've got a really tight thrust. And there's no real sense of anything extension out. So if it's too tight, I basically finish in this position. I basically jam the jaw. So it's basically jammed into the system. But I need to really let it go. So I need to really release the thrust. So now just going to a little bit more with a sense of thrusting. I'm really focusing on the end position. It's basically going to line up with the shoulder. Generally, this is a kind of full extension of the arc. This way. This way. This way. Yeah, give it a try. We're just really now completing the jaw, completing the ski. Just watch the end position. Okay, good. Aha. Yeah. Good. Just really watch the position of the wrist. You need to be really careful about this point. When you thrust in, be careful of this kink through the wrist. So if I'm too kind of tight in the grip, and the wrist is kind of inflexible as I go through, I'll try and do this with the wrist. And basically, the hand's in this position. Now, if I impact with this against something, you can try and look at makiwara. If I impact with the wrist in this position, all the force, all the weight goes straight to the wrist here. And basically, if I do like 100 of these, you just start to break the wrist. So what you need to really feel is that this hand's in this position, and it's going to flow through the jaw here. So really, you want to be in this position here. So as if this is one line through the jaw this way. And the moment I have this, then I'm really breaking the wrist. I'm really going to break the wrist through the movement. So have a sense of really flexible through the wrist here. So the grip's full here, but it's not there in that position. Yeah, you can see that. So just really feel what's happening at the end of the thrust with the wrist. You should really feel one line through the arm this way. And if I have a thrust like this, then they've really feel, if you get any kind of pressure against the system, it's the whole system going. And you'll actually feel it in the back foot this way. So if you thrust against something like a makiwara with a really strong connection through the system, you'll feel the pressure is actually in the back foot. This is really what you want. So just check the wrist connection. Feel one line runs through the arms. There we go, good.
Michael?
Yeah.
What I notice when I do the ski, if I take my hand in like this, and I do it like this, it goes in a direction that you don't want.
Yeah.
If you rotate it slightly upwards, just a little bit.
Ah.
Because instead of this, it goes like this. It stays in place.
This way, this way. Which way? You rotate it towards you? This way?
Inwards.
Or this way? Ah.
No. So instead of this, it goes a little bit like this.
Right.
This.
Yeah, you. Oh shit, you can.
If I leave it like this, it goes up. So you get this. And if I rotate it a bit, it stays in line.
Yeah. Okay, I get. Yeah. Okay.
But it might be me on my anatomy.
This is actually Let's see. Rotate it out this way.
Because what I see in your position is also when you have your hand on the jaw, in the end position, it's more like this.
Yeah. You see this position? That.
Yeah.
I basically want to keep.
Instead of this position.
Yeah. I basically want to keep. Oh, I can't see.
Because this is.
I want to keep the feel in this. It's a bit like the sword work where I want the.
Yeah.
You want this part of the hand to be in contact.
Yeah.
So in this case, it's like this. So actually, the key is it's really in the back this way.
Yeah.
So you got this kind of feeling. This, where you basically got a curling around the jaw.
Yeah.
Right. So it's basically this part of the hand's in contact with the jaw. So you got this kind of feeling.
Yeah.
This kind of feeling. This is actually clear. It's what I find is best to practice with the feeling like it's a spear. So it's actually this kind of movement really comes from the fact that it's like a spear, and I want the feeling of pressing through it this way. So there's actually a feeling of really pressing through here. Now, if I go to rotation work, this is where I'm doing different things. So I really want this feeling like. There's also a feeling the jaw work really comes from like bayonet work. So the feeling's like really thrusting in with something sharp. So it's really a sense of this kind of feeling. But just experiment with it. Okay. Aha. Good. So. Good. And then the last point, just really focus on what happens between the hands. So in this case, you want to create a really strong connection between the hands. So you want a sense of this, really staying wide open and strong through the back of the body. The feeling, again, is really connecting the back of the body. A lot of the time in the thrusting work, what tends to happen is you get caught in the front here, in this kind of position. So really get a sense that through the both hands, you've got a sense of opening the back and really pressing the back through the movement. So this kind of sense, so keeping the back long and a sense of connection through both hands. To really have a sense of this movement as you roll through the jaw. So pressing the back of the body into the move this way. So it's really trying to ground the movement in the lower body and the back of the body. And it's very easy to get into the top and the front. And the jaw starts to look like this kind of work. This kind of work. And the more I do it, the tighter it gets. So I really get the sense of grounding the movement down in the back of the body and pressing this through. So just take some time here. Really find the back, feel that you connect it strongly into the move, and then release it through. So really grounding in the back. Give it a try. Just really focus on what, the best thing to focus on the hands, the two hands. Really what's happening between them.
Michael, with regards to the front hand, how much do you, I'm just trying to phrase my question. How much of the jaw do you pull back? Because I see some people, when they pull the jaw back, their front hand and the jaw probably only ends up, that's probably about 6 inches away, whereas...
You got mute.
Sorry. Okay, so I see some people like, when they pull back, it's so close, their front hand is so close to the end of the jaw.
Yeah. Yeah, also this is really a basic ski. We kind of later we abandon a lot of this work. So a lot of the work we're doing of rolling through and pressing through, at some point we just really abandon it and you just press through with it. But I need to really train a long time this kind of feeling of rolling through this way. So in the case of the front arm, I'm not going to go into this position, yeah, and try and get to the end of it. But I'm going to keep it really open and slide it through almost the whole job, but not quite kind of come into this position. So I'm really going to allow the front hand to move this way. And I really don't, it's not a feeling of sliding the front hand to the jaw. It's a feeling of drawing it back with the back hand. So this hand's arcing back this way. See that? So it's not a case of pressing the front hand forward as a case of drawing it back through the back arm this way. So the jaw's being pulled through this way.
So is your front...
This hand's not doing this. You see this? So it's not like this and then this. It's like this and then this. That makes sense.
Okay, so your front hand is just generally following your body?
Yeah, and actually it's arcing backwards. So actually in the movement, the front arm is arcing back this way. You see that? This way. And it's not pushing forward and then going forward. Ooh.
Okay, I'll give it a try. Thanks.
Okay, good. So we'll go real basic just into Zengo. So just come into here and then rolling to the back. And really just pay attention to the skikamai. You're going to enter into is right at the back of the hip. So really finding this position. And then thrusting through. So really allows that to rotate and fully find the back. Find the skikamai. And then rotate through. Fully find the back. Press through. Fully find the back each time. Just be really careful. The more we do it, we tend to go into these kind of positions. And into the front of the body. So really have a sense of opening the back. Pressing through, opening the back of the movement this way. Okay, give it a try. Nice basic Zengo. Really find the back hip. There we go. Nice. Okay. And you really get a set, there's a kind of different kind of feeling. Don't do this as if you're kind of pressing over the top. So just avoid, in this case, kind of rolling with a sense of rolling over the top of the jaw. Really get a sense that you're underneath the weapon. Yeah. So actually keep everything low again. Have a sense that you're drawing back with the body this way. Drawing back the jaw. And then this position, rather than over the top this way. So get a sense that you thrust into the ground. Keep this feeling of down and roll to the back. This way, this way. Have a sense of drawing back the body. Thrusting in, draw back. Thrusting, draw back. Thrusting. Yeah, give it a try. So keep everything low. And keep the feeling of really loading the back of the body. Good. Okay, then just work from, I want you to just work from any kind of position, just kind of natural position with the jaw. Just move around a little bit and then just have the sense of drawing into the kamae, finding the thrust, and then just release it. Just come to a kind of natural, keep the jaw just by your side, one hand, and then just really feel you draw into the kamae, the thrust, and then release it. And just work with different kinds of positions. Just hold it any way you like, and just have the sense of drawing into the kamae, thrusting down. Any kind of position. Draw into the kamae, thrusting through. Yeah, just play with different positions. Go from a natural position, find the kamae, and then find the thrust. Okay, good. And then the same exercise, whatever you've got kind of around you, I just want you to kind of do the same exercise, walk around, and then really focus on something. So find something, this, come into the kamae, and then really thrust towards it. Don't make contact to it, be a kind of a couple of centimeters off it, but just get the sense, just move around. Just allow yourself to find something, connect to it, and just thrust in towards it. They can be low, high, whatever that height is, just trying to accommodate the ski to the height of it. So it can be anything at all this way. If you've got a really clear space, just imagine, use your imagination. But usually there's a lot of things around. Just find the kamae and then thrust into it. Really nice, solid, clean. Just working with contact in a target now. Good. And imagine, like, I've got lots of flies here at the moment. So if a fly lands on a surface, I use them as a target. Now, if I do this right by just this, just enough, the fly won't move. It won't kind of sense anything. So get this feeling is like you want to really connect it this, but without really disturbing the surface. So also, if you're working with valuable things, you don't want to hit it, but there's just a sense you connect to it and thrust into it, and the fly doesn't move. So you just connect to it, thrust in, the fly doesn't move. So you don't really want to say, you just want to target it, contact it, and be really precise with it. So really, the more precise I can be, the more dangerous you can be later. So really get a sense of precision with the strike. Really contact something, and use something very specific. So a very small target this way, and then thrust into it. Yeah, just try it. Two flies.
I was a bit too close on my door.
Uh-oh. Plunk.
Yeah, I'll avoid the keyhole next to the big glass window.
Right. Good. Plunk. Right. Okay, good. Nice. Okay, and then just play with different kinds of skis. So there's a few variations that we have, especially in the later forms in the Kumijo movements. There's a few movements off the basics. So the basic form of doing this, we use quite a lot in terms of attacking, but for practical use or for different kinds of purposes in the Kumijos, there's some different kinds of one. The first one is a movement which is very a direct ski. So it's like from this position, just thrusting straight into the body this way. So this is a very fast ski, and this is really where you've not got so much time. And I'm not going to pull back the jaw in this case. So the first one you can try is this. In this one, still from a full contact, just thrusting straight in. And you can see this in number 8 of the Kumijo. This is used in number 8. So this is just a very direct ascent, pressing straight in. So have the sense now without pulling back and without tightening, just a sense of contact with something and thrust straight directly into it, without this sense of really drawing back through the jaw. So in a full position and then just press through with it. So much more direct thrust. And you can do this high, low, or in the middle. So just try this one. Really connect to something and this way, just thrusting in. Okay, give this a try. This is not a basic thrust. This is it's a very fast thrust. Aha. Okay. Okay, good. Okay. Good. Okay, the next one, non-basic, again, you'll find in number 8, is rolling through the jaw this way and pressing down. This is, again, is a variation on a ski, but this is rolling through the jaw and pressing down. This is a stride that's going to be delivered high to low. This is usually, it's delivered to the, kind of to the heart. This way, up, and then thrusting in the body this way. So rolling this way. There's really a sense of delivering the strike down through the body this way. Okay, so using the same kind of dynamic, you can do this both sides, rolling through and pressing down with it. Rolling through, pressing down this way. Okay, give it a try. And this one's delivered high to low.
Michael?
Yeah.
When we do high to low, which is the first foot? Do we go like cross or do we go with the back foot?
See, both.
Or both?
In terms of the basic, you can do the front foot. So send the front foot first and then out with the body this way. And this that the body is off the line first. But you can actually do the back foot as well. This way.
Okay.
You play with both, but normally it's the front foot. But you can do both, back foot or front foot. Just experiment with this way.
Thank you.
Good, keep going. Good. Let's see. Okay, good. Right, good, good, good. Okay, good. And then the last one that you can do is a variation. You're going to use the back of the jaw. So you're going to feed the hands through and thrust with the front, with the back of the jaw. So allow now the hands to really feed through this way, and then you're thrusting up this way. This is a really, you can use this thrust for really any target. It tends to be used for the head, striking up this way. You can see this movement in the 31, in lots of the Kumijo, lots of the Kentai-jo. We use this kind of movement. But in this case, you can just play with thrusting with the rear of the jaw. And you can do this to any target, to a high target, to a middle target, or to a low target. This way. Yeah. So this is just playing with the backside, feeding through. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay, good. Nice. Good. Okay, good. So try and use the bait in terms of the basic work of feeding the jaw through the hand this way. Really try and use this here. So roll and feeding it through. And in this case, really feed it through the front hand this way. So really allow it to roll through the hand this way. So there's a feeling of pressing the body through the jaw this way. What I want to avoid in a case of like this, and then just pushing it forward. Down this way. Really get a sense that slides through the hand this way. And you can really get a sense of weight pressing through the jaw this way. Again, what I'm not really focusing on is the jaw, but delivering the weight of the body through the movement. And that really needs soft work in the hands, feeding the jaw through. So I'm really trying to, again, press the whole weight of the body through the jaw this way. So just get a sense of this way. Okay, give it a try. Press the whole weight of the body through the tip. Nice. Very nice. Nice, great. Okay, and then just work with combining all the movements. So any kind of ski you can think of. You've also got Shido skis, or any kind of ski work that we do. and just work on combining them. So you've got really basic movements, and then you've got these kind of variations where you're just thrusting in, and you've got these variations of feeding through, striking down, and you've got this variation of feeding through, striking with the rear of the jab. So just try and combine them in. So you can also work with movement here, come into a kamae, thrusting in, thrusting in. Just do a kind of short set. Just explore. Good. Okay, very good. Okay, so that's the ski. There's a kind of similar pattern we use through the weapon work. You're starting with a very clean, clear basic, and we then transfer those patterns into more either complicated, actually more simple movements, using the same kind of structure through the movement. So it's in the similar way as we use the same, and then we start with a really basic, like a shoryuchi, and then you basically modify off that form. And it's the same really a feeling with the thrust. So this is our basic kind of thrusting pattern, and then you use this kind of pattern to modify for different kind of strikes. So it's basically building a foundation, really clear in this simple move, and then kind of building out from that, working out. Okay, good. Stop. Hey, domo arigatou gozaimasu.
Domo arigatou gozaimasu.
Good.